A new bill in the Senate that has significant support, stated support from the Trump administration, could theoretically make permanent a controversial section of the Foreign Intelligence Surveillance Act that has good cause to be controversial. The bill would permanently reauthorize a section of FISA that permits the government to spy on Americans who are in contact with foreigners. The act is currently set to expire at the end of the year. So basically, this is a section where it says you can't spy under this on an American talking with an American, but if you are communicating in one of many different formats with someone living abroad, a foreign citizen, then they can suck that up. It could be phone calls, it could be emails, it could be text messages, it could be all sorts of things. And what's incredibly important about this is the government has defended a lot of surveillance in the past, saying it's just metadata. Why are you getting your panties in a wad over it? In this case, we're talking about the literal content of communications, which means that theoretically, in many cases without warrant, if you're talking on the phone with someone, if you're sending an email to someone living abroad, they can have the full content and details of that communications, and they could, under this bill, have it for the rest of time.
So I want to clarify, they would be able to do this without a warrant.
That is my understanding, yes.
Okay, so I have a massive problem with mass surveillance, right?
And this is according to the NSA, by the way, that it can be conducted warrantless.
Right, and first of all, I think mass surveillance is ineffective, and it makes more sense to hone in on conversations or exchanges with people who, display some sort of probable cause or some sort of suspicious behavior, which of course, if you prove that there's some suspicious behavior, you can easily get a warrant from a judge and then have at it, go ahead and spy on them, right? Yeah. But it's just such a waste of resources, and it's so ineffective to just be able to warrantlessly, I don't even know if that's, can you say that, warrantlessly?
I like it.
Okay, whatever. To without a warrant, just spy in on someone's conversation simply because they're speaking to someone in a foreign country, right? Look, I always go back to the fact that we have given up some of our rights, pertaining to the Fourth Amendment, right? We have willingly allowed the TSA to search us in every way imaginable. We have made excuses for the NSA and other intelligence organizations for spying in on us and all that, because in the name of national security. But now more than ever, you hear the same fear mongering from politicians. You hear the same arguments that we're under siege and oh my God, there's an imminent threat of radical Islamic terrorism in the country. So how much more do we have to give up for them to actually effectively do their jobs and stop fear mongering? They're going to continue fear mongering because they want you to willingly give up your rights.
Yeah, and I think like some people, I guess, if you don't routinely conduct overseas communication, you might think, I guess that's more likely to be suspicious or threatening, but think about in practice how broad this actually is.
Yeah.
If someday, and I know it's not likely, but theoretically, if someday Emma Watson ever responds to one of my DMs, the NSA could read that. Trust me, they don't want to read those, okay? But they could. That's how broad it is.
Yeah.
Like if you're studying abroad, or I traveled to Europe recently. If I was emailing back with TYT, I guess theoretically the NSA could have that information. This is incredibly broad.
I just want warrants involved. I want probable cause. I want some indication that there is a real legitimate reason to spy in on someone's conversation, right? And unfortunately, maybe the majority of Americans don't value that. I don't know. I don't know why there's no big controversy when stories like this come out. But if you genuinely value our Constitution, it's not just about the Second Amendment or the First Amendment. It's about all of it, right? Yeah. And we have a right to privacy. And unless there is some, reasonable suspicion and a warrant, I don't think it makes sense for the NSA to just spy in on that conversation.
Yeah, well, I think that this is an area where I have at least some hope. I understand that when we cover a lot of different topics on this show, and sometimes you slip a story like this in, and it can be overwhelming to people because every day there are new things to be worried about and new things to call your representative about and to march for. There's so many different things that you have to split your attention and your time and your passion and your energy to. But this is important. It might seem a bit ephemeral and vague, but these are fundamental rights that theoretically could be permanently taken away. Now it's going to expire at the end of the year. And it's something that I think that people can make a difference on, because a few years back, we had a national concern about how much privacy we'd given away in the wake of 9/11, and we got some things done. And a lot of those rights are still not ours again, but there was some progress. And I think that this is an issue that if people are organized on, and if people make clear that they care about it, if they communicate with their lawmakers, it's something that we can make progress on, because this is an area where theoretically for a lot of congressmen, they're not making a bunch of money off this.
Right.
And so it's an area where theoretically their donors don't have as much to say, and so they can be moved on. It's important. I know it's another thing to put on you, but hopefully people will fight this to make sure that this reauthorization doesn't happen.
Young Turks membership creates independent media.
Believe me.
No ads.
Believe me.
All the shows.
Believe me.
On demand.
Believe me.
Support independent media.
Believe me.
It's awesome, tremendous. You'll love it.
Believe me.
And by the end, you'll be thinking,
I'm like a smart person.
TYTnetwork.com/join.